For centuries, Europe lived under a simple truth. Kings ruled because God allowed it. Churches decided what was true, and ordinary people were expected to obey, not question. This was the medieval world, a world where authority flowed downward and doubt was dangerous. But sometime between the 17th and 18th centuries, something extraordinary happened. People began to ask questions that were once unthinkable. What if kings were not chosen by God? What if authority needed justification? What if reason mattered more than tradition? This period would later be called the Enlightenment, also known as the Age of Reason. It's often remembered as a peaceful intellectual movement. Philosophers writing books, gentlemen debating ideas in salons, progress marching calmly forward. But that memory is wrong, because the Enlightenment didn't end tyranny. It taught people how to destroy it. To understand why Enlightenment ideas were so explosive, we need to understand the world they were born into. Before the Enlightenment, Europe was ruled by absolute monarchies. Kings claimed divine authority. The church controlled truth. Social classes were fixed at birth. If you were born a peasant, you would likely die a peasant. If you questioned authority, you risked prison, or worse. Truth did not come from evidence, it came from tradition. The medieval mindset valued obedience over curiosity, stability over progress, faith over doubt. And for a long time, this system worked, at least for those at the top. But cracks were forming. Scientific discoveries were already shaking old beliefs. The printing press had made ideas harder to control. Wars, plagues, and economic pressure had weakened faith in authority. By the late 1600s, Europe was ready for something dangerous. It was ready for ideas. If the Enlightenment had a quiet revolutionary, it was John Locke. Locke asked a question that terrified rulers. Where does political power come from? For centuries, the answer was simple: God. Locke rejected that completely. He argued that power comes from the people. According to Locke, humans are born with natural rights. Life, liberty, and property belong to everyone. Governments exist only to protect those rights. And here was the truly dangerous part. If a government fails to protect those rights, the people have the right to overthrow it. This idea was explosive. It didn't just criticize bad rulers, it questioned the entire foundation of monarchy. Locke wasn't calling for chaos, he was calling for accountability. But once you tell people they have a right to resist power, you can't control where that idea goes. Locke's writing spread quietly at first, through books, pamphlets, and private discussions. But they planted a seed that said authority must be earned. If Locke provided the theory, Voltaire provided the weapon. That weapon was ridicule. Voltaire didn't just disagree with kings and churches, he mocked them. He exposed hypocrisy, he attacked superstition, he questioned blind faith, and he did it in a way people could understand. Voltaire believed that ignorance was the true enemy of freedom. He famously argued for freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of thought. At a time when saying the wrong thing could land you in prison, Voltaire wrote relentlessly, and he paid for it. He was arrested, exiled, censored, but the more authorities tried to silence him, the more popular he became. Because Voltaire showed people something new, that power could be laughed at. Once people stop fearing authority, authority starts to collapse. If Locke questioned kings and Voltaire attacked institutions, Jean-Jacques Rousseau went even further. Rousseau asked, what if society itself is broken? In his work, The Social Contract, Rousseau argued that legitimate political authority comes from the general will of the people. Not kings, not nobles, not churches, the people. Rousseau believed that humans were born free and corrupted by unjust systems. This was not a polite idea. It suggested that inequality was artificial, that hierarchy was not natural, that people could reshape society from the ground up. Rousseau's ideas were emotional, radical, and dangerous. They didn't just inspire reform, they inspired revolution. One of the most important aspects of the Enlightenment was how ideas spread. They didn't stay in universities. They moved into coffee houses, salons, taverns, pamphlets sold on street corners. For the first time, ordinary people were exposed to political philosophy. And once people began to discuss ideas together, authority lost its monopoly on truth. Ideas spread faster than armies, and unlike soldiers, ideas couldn't be imprisoned. Rulers underestimated this. They believed power came from force, but the Enlightenment proved something new. Power comes from belief, and belief was changing. Eventually, theory met reality. The Enlightenment did not stay philosophical, it became political. In America, Enlightenment ideas inspired independence. In France, they inspired something far darker. By the late 1700s, France was collapsing under inequality. The monarchy lived in luxury. The people starved. When revolution came, it was fueled by Enlightenment language. Rights, liberty, equality. The people's will. But ideas are powerful and dangerous. Once unleashed, they don't come with limits. The French Revolution didn't just remove a king, it executed him. Then it devoured its own leaders. The age of reason turned into the age of terror. Heads rolled, faith collapsed, order dissolved. The Enlightenment had taught people how to destroy tyranny. It had not taught them how to stop. The Enlightenment reshaped the world. It gave us democracy, human rights, freedom of speech, scientific thinking. But it also revealed a harsh truth. Ideas are not gentle. They challenge power. They destabilize societies. They force change, whether people are ready or not. The age of reason was not peaceful. It was revolutionary. It replaced unquestioned authority with uncertainty, faith with doubt, obedience with resistance. And once people learned how to question power, there was no going back. Because the most dangerous weapon in history is not a sword. It's an idea whose time has come. And also, don't forget to subscribe and like this video.